to Eagle News. Hello, I'm Audrey. We are so glad you could join us today. In today's episode, we'll be reporting about Eversole Run Middle School news, national news, Ohio news, teacher focus, science news, riddles, technology news, and much, much more.
In Eversole News, if you have misplaced or lost any items this first trimester of school, please check the lost and found located in the comments. Parents are also welcome to check after school hours, but not during the school day. All unclaimed items will be donated November 17th.
In more Eversole news, ERMS 7th graders are collecting snack pack donations for the local nonprofit organization Feed the Kids Columbus, November 13th through 17th. Feed the Kids Columbus currently serves 7,000 children in 28 schools. The organization is asking for the particular items listed below: Monday 11th/13th, fruit snacks; Tuesday, individual bags of goldfish, pirate booty, or pretzels; Wednesday, Nutri-Grain bars or cereal bars; Thursday, granola bars, no nuts; Friday, squeezed applesauce. Items may be given to Mr. Armstrong, 7-1, or Mrs. Shock, 7-2. In National Day Calendar news, today is International Internet Day, National Oatmeal Day, and National Small Mammal Day.
Fun facts of the day. An elephant's heart weighs around 30 pounds, and a human heart weighs around 10 ounces. Also, elephants can't jump.
In language arts news, what is a folktale? Folktales are stories in oral tradition or tales that people tell each other out loud rather than stories in written form. They're closely related to many storytelling traditions, including fables, myths, fairy tales. Every human society has its own folktales. These well-known stories, handed down between generations, are an important way of passing along knowledge, information, and history. This weekend's weather. On Friday, there's a high of 50, a low of 35, and a 20% chance of rain. On Saturday, there's a high of 53, a low of 34, and a 10% chance of rain.
On Sunday, there's a low of 33, a high 53, and a 10% chance of rain. That was this weekend.
In science news, what are two types of energy? Although there are several types of energy, scientists can group them into two main categories: kinetic energy and potential energy. Kinetic energy is an energy of motion. Atoms and their components are in motion, so all matter possesses kinetic energy. On a larger scale, any object in motion has kinetic energy. Potential energy is energy that matter gains from its arrangement or position. The object has the potential to do work. Examples of potential energy include a sled at the top of a hill or a pendulum at the top of its swing.
In math news, what are negative exponents? Negative exponents tell us that the power of a number is negative, and it applies to the reciprocal of the number. We know that an exponent refers to the number of times the number is multiplied by itself. For example, 32 equals 3 times 3. In the case of positive exponents, we easily multiply the number by itself. But what happens when we have negative exponents, or negative numbers as exponents? A negative exponent is defined as the multiplicative inverse of the base, raised to the power of which in opposite of given power. In simple words, we write the reciprocal of the number and then solve it like positive exponents.
In social studies news, what is the Magna Carta? The Magna Carta, Latin for Great Charter, was a document that gave certain rights to the English people. King John of England agreed to it on June 15, 1215. The Magna Carta stated that the king must follow the law. He could not simply rule as he wished. It was one of the first documents to state that the citizens had such rights. King John demanded too much money from his people. The barons drew up the Magna Carta to limit his power. The Magna Carta was the first step in the creation of England's constitution. Many other countries later used the ideas of the Magna Carta in their constitutions too.
In social and emotional news, empathy is the ability to emotionally understand what other people feel, see things from their point of view, and imagine yourself in their place. Essentially, it is putting yourself in somebody else's position and feeling what they must be feeling. When you see another person suffering, you might be able to instantly envision yourself in the person's place and feel sympathy for them. While other people are generally pretty well attuned to their own feelings and emotions, getting into somebody else's head can be a little bit more difficult. The ability to feel empathy allows people to walk a mile in others' shoes, so to speak. It permits people to understand the emotions that others are feeling. Empathy is very important in human social and emotional development.
Eagle Recognition Award winners. Xavier Malouin for being ownership by Mr. Jabir.
Tamir Abdelhamid for service-mindedness by Miss Bailey.
Tessa Kalmar for showing acceptance by Miss Phelps.
Shreyan Garam for service-mindedness by Miss Burkock.
Araya Patel for being service-minded by Miss Falk.
Nico Swain for service-mindedness by Miss Dischalk.
David Hansberger for being service-minded by Miss Moses.
Landon Halligan for ownership by Miss Jurger.
Elin Kelsley for being service-minded by Miss Greco.
Sophia Burns for service-mindedness by Mr. Armstrong. Well, that's Eagle News for today. If you have a story you would like to be featured on Eagle News, please let Mr. McNeil know. Here at Eversole, we are creating a community of excellence by being positive, working hard, and respecting the uniqueness of ourselves and each other. Have an amazing day.